So we pick it up from where we are supposed, where we were last time. What did we do last? What did we handle in our last class?
We did pivot table.
Pivot table. Okay, great. So did we prepare the dashboard? In terms of automating our data, did you automate our data in our last class? Someone to confirm? As I'm also checking whatever that we shared, let me check. So there should be. We were doing, that was a question in August 2024, right? We did a question in August 2024. That is where we dealt with the pivot table. That was a question in August 2024. Maybe just to share what part we did. So August 2024. Which are the same, I think it was shared in the group. That was very okay. So remember the whole essence of our pivot table, majorly, we looked at it as a case where it will always assist us, of course, to summarize our data in a point. Other than summarizing, it will help us to analyze our data in a way. So looking at, where is that document? A moment here. Let me check this. Okay, so we did that question number 25. And I think we looked at, of course, the whole bit of it. Now, I want us to check still on the same, where in this event, we'll want to basically visualize and automate our data using the pivot table concept. So in this case, we prepare our data from scratch to the point of automation in our dashboard. So whenever we're preparing our dashboard, it's simply the summary or graphical representation of everything that we've dealt with in terms of course, everything that we've prepared, summary of everything that we prepared. So now what we'll be doing will just be visualizing our data. So what I want us to handle then, I want us to, of course, consider this part. I've shared this several times. I want us to look at this data that we used. Of course, in our group, one that was shared latest as in our group, one that was shared latest, one that was shared latest as the lesson 1 introduction to Excel, one that was shared latest as introduction to Excel, the one that was shared latest, one that was shared latest as introduction to Excel, which in this case, these are what you have in here. I want us to open this document. I want us to open that document. This is the one that was shared latest in the group. This is the one that was shared latest in the group. I've reshared the same document. So what I want us to do, remember, like we said that it will help us to summarize large data sets. We've confirmed that. It will help us to analyze numerical data. It will help us to recognize information. Now, whatever that we've not looked at is simply how to create dynamic reports. And that is what I want us to do using this data of ours. Kindly confirm that we all have this data. Kindly confirm that we have all this data. Confirm that we have this data of ours. So what we are going to do, I want us to pick this data and have it in our in the next sheet. So we select this data of ours. Selecting our data, what you're doing.
Hello, Mwalimu.
Yes, please.
What are we covering right now?
Continuation of pivot table, what we did last time. So we want to look at our dashboard. So this data is what I want us to use. We have this file. I've reshared the same file in the group. So we select this whole sheet. We have it in a different sheet. So I want us to prepare or to use this data to prepare our dashboard reports.
Mwalimu, I have something to say. So you see, last time our data was not able to create a pivot table because of the name of the document. It had a bracket. So once I renamed my document, I was able to create a pivot table. Yes, that's what happened. Yeah.
Or if you rename that, like you save it in a different form.
Maybe you name your document pivot table without this brackets.
Sure, if I told you manage, that is a solution. I believe the rest had an issue with the same. Thought I expected some to share in the group, those who had an issue, but I never saw anyone who shared the Excel document for assistance, meaning that if that solution works, then that is okay. And for those who haven't attempted the solution, Sam has given us an idea. You just save it as a whole new with a new name and try it out. So what I want us to consider is this document. I want us to prepare a dashboard using this doc. So what you have, prepare this document or copy paste this document in a whole new sheet. Copy paste the document in a whole new sheet.
You mean we copy the pivot table to a new sheet? The one written pivot source.
So we have this data in our new sheet.
Where is the data?
This data you have it. We've been using this data a lot. You
Okay.
must be having this. The same I've reshared in the group, right? Check whatever that I've reshared in the group right now. The last Excel that I've just reshared in the group. But I believe all of us, we should be having this data. We've been using it a lot. We've been using it a lot. So what Mwalimu is saying is that what we need to do, let us copy paste. You copy this set to a new sheet. Then this new sheet, we can rename it pivot source data. This new sheet, you can rename it pivot source data. We rename this sheet like that. So what I want us to do is this. Once we've achieved that, all of us, let us follow this procedure. Insert our pivot table. And I believe all of us, we have access to the data. I believe all of us, you have access to the data. So we insert the pivot table. How will we insert the pivot table? Of course, is to click anywhere within our table. You come insert, pivot. It will highlight the whole case. Kindly let us follow this procedure. Let us follow this procedure together. Once you copy pasted this data in our new sheet, this new sheet, we have renamed it pivot source data. How do you rename your sheet? You right click, then you click rename. You rename the sheet pivot source data. So once we have this, we come to our case. You place your cursor anywhere within our table. We come to insert. Under insert, we come to pivot table. It will highlight our whole data. This time round, we click in our dialog box here. Let us do existing, or rather the new worksheet. Let us do a new worksheet. Let us do a new worksheet. Once you've clicked the new worksheet in our dialog box, you click OK. So on my sheet, it will open here. What I want to do, I will just carry it to this point. How do you carry this? You long press while left clicking, then you just carry it where? You carry it at that point, to be the last one, to be the last one. So we want to achieve the same results from our set here. We want to prepare summary, that is we want to prepare sales summary monthly, prepare sales summary daily, prepare sales summary quarterly. Prepare sales summary monthly, daily, and quarterly. So in our pivot here, what we've created, the same procedure applies. I want my sales on a monthly basis. These my sales. Well, exactly what we did. Exactly what we did. So row labels, I want it to indicate monthly. So I click on the row labels. We come design. We come report layout. Show in tabular form. Show in tabular form.
Kindly repeat.
Exactly where?
About the row labels.
You said you come where it was indicating the row labels here. So once you've placed your cursor there, you come to design and our tab list on top there. You come to report layout, this drop down here. Then you click show in tabular form. Show in tabular form. Once you click show in tabular form, then these are the results that you'll be having. These are the results that we'll be having.
The two columns, month and sum of sales. That's what you are saying, Madam.
No, month only. It is only month that is showing row labels. See, sum of sales, that is automatic, showing sum of sales, right?
Yes.
So what you're changing is only the one that was showing row labels, okay?
Okay.
So having that case, we proceed to the next bit here, where we have our insert. Just come to insert. If you click insert, come pivot chart. You see this drop down under pivot chart? You click pivot chart. What we used in our last question when you're preparing the charts for what we did last. So in this case, we have the pivot charts. I repeat again, you want to insert the pivot chart, okay? You click on our pivot, you come insert, under insert, we have pivot chart, you click pivot chart. So my pivot chart will appear. You select one that you want. Say we want to use the clustered column, so I'll just do okay. So this is what we have on a monthly bit. I want us to dive deep a bit. Once you've achieved this, make sure that you've achieved, first of all, that. Make sure that you've achieved this. Make sure that you've achieved this. Make sure that you've achieved this.
Yeah, excuse Mwalimu.
Yes, please.
After the pivot chart appears, you have said we click what?
After the pivot chart appears, we've used the clustered column. Like this is what we've done. Let me do this. I'll just repeat it again, no worries, for a sec, because it is a one-off thing. Let me delete all of this case so that you see what we have done. So we've said, while here, you come to insert, you come to pivot chart. We have various charts that we can insert. I want us to use the column, the clustered column. Like you just click the column. Once you click the column, these will appear, and this is what I want us to use. So you do okay. So the results that I'll be having, this is what I'll be having as our results here. This is what we'll be having as our results. I want us to go deeper. What you're doing here is for the purpose of presenting to the shareholders, is for the purpose of presenting maybe to the board members, or it is for the purpose of presenting to the maybe investors. Yeah, maybe you want to pitch, you're pitching probably your idea and your business. You want some certain, of course, funding on the same. So you need to present your data in a very neat manner. So this will depend purely on your creativity. And we've seen that such questions they test, like the one that they tested in August. Also, we are going to look at the one that they tested last sitting. See, so what we need to understand is basically how to do this and how to format our graph. the first thing, because we want to prepare our dashboard, this is what I want us to do. In our graph, in this case, probably you are not into this color. You want to change the color of your bars. Put your favorite. As I've said, this will depend on your creativity. You come and click any bar. Just click any bar. It will highlight all the bars. It will highlight all the bars. Then you right-click. After you have right-clicked, you see this fill. You just click the drop-down under the fill. Select any color of your choice. 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 Probably, I can see that this bar are quite small. I want to increase their width or reduce their width. Reducing the width, how will you go about it? You come, you click any of our bars. You click any of our bars. Right click. Once you have this chart or rather dialog box, you come to format data series. Once you are on formatting data series, under the gap width, you see gap width, reduce the gap width. You will observe what is happening to your graphs. See, you'll observe what is happening to your graphs. They are also increasing in their width. See? So right now, they look a bit neat. The next item to do, I want us to delete all these lines because I want it to purely fit for the purpose of dashboard presentation. So I highlight, or rather I click any of the lines, which you'll find that these lines will appear. All you need to do is to click delete. I repeat, this is the graph that you have. I want us to get rid of these grid lines. How do you get rid of the grid lines? You come and click any of the grid line. It will highlight all. Then you do what? You delete. I will also want to get rid of these values. So you come and click under our axis here, you click any value in our axis, then you delete. I'm trying to be as slow as I can so that I carry all of you. In our case, we can't leave this data blank because how much will this represent? Unless I click, is when I'll see how much it is representing. I don't need that. All I need is to add the values on each and every bar. So you click any of our bar, you click any of our bar, you right click, under dialog box, you scroll to where we have data labels, you click that arrow indicating that direction. Then you add data labels. So you realize that each and every bar will indicate the value of the bar. See, each and every bar will indicate the value. Each and every bar will indicate the value there. You see? Each and every bar will indicate the value. See? Each and every bar will indicate the value there. I want to carry all of us, make sure that you're achieving that. So that if at all I check January, I'll see January, these are the total sales that we made monthly. July, these are the total sales. December, these are the total sales. We rename this graph and we call it what? Monthly sales. Monthly sales. I want to carry all of us, so make sure that each and every step you're with Mwalimu. Where you're not understanding, make sure you ask. This sheet, we rename our sheet and we call it what? Monthly sales. We rename it and we call it what? Monthly sales. We open another sheet. We open another sheet. Then you come in copy
Mwalimu,
paste.
can you kindly start from where?
Pardon?
Can you kindly start from where you're deleting the x-axis in the pivot table?
Those are steps back. So like the x-axis is appearing there, right? You just click. Have you managed to delete the x-axis?
No, I want to delete it. So.
Just click. Once it has highlighted everything, you just click delete from your keyboard. Make sure that it is highlighted, then you just click delete from your keyboard.
Okay.
Have you managed?
Okay.
Lynette, have you managed to delete? Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the next step, let us copy paste this data of our pivot. We copy paste that data to this sheet. We just copy paste. We copy paste that data to our sheet.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
On the expansion of the bars.
On there?
Come again. I have not managed to expand the bars. You said you right click and do what? Expansion
Once
of the bar line.
all bars are highlighted, you right click. Then you come to format data series. Under format data series, you'll see the gap width here. So the gap width is what you reduce. Like you see, if at all it is there, the bar are so slim, you can reduce the width to increase the width of your bars. Have you achieved that?
Okay.
You just click on your bars, then you right click, then you come to format data series. Formatting data series and a gap width, you now go about reducing that. So once we have that, then you come, we select all these items, of course, one that you're having. We copy, we come and paste that data here. I want our daily sales. So where we have month, I uncheck, then we check daily sales. So automatically, it will give us our daily sales there. Automatically, it will give us our daily sales. All I want to achieve.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So once we have this day and sum of cells, we need to insert our chart. So you come insert, we want pivot chart. This time round, probably I want to use area, or maybe you can use bar. So we select area that I want to use. Then okay. Mm-hmm. Probably.
Excuse Mwalimu.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm left a bit. After copying the data to another sheet,
Mm-hmm.
you have said we do what?
After we copy this data in our new sheet, we
Mm-hmm.
want to prepare our daily sales, right? So on our pivot table fields, initially this is what you've copied, right?
Yeah.
So you uncheck the month.
And the pivot table, is it coming automatically after pasting?
Yeah, the pivot table will come automatically. It will come, this pivot chart will come automatically. Probably your case, maybe you'll find that let me see. Assuming yours is showing like this, right? Where if you click, you're not seeing any pivot fields, right?
Yeah.
Is it showing like this?
Yeah, it's showing that.
So just
Yes,
where we have
mine also showing like that.
Where you have the format shape, are you seeing this case where my cursor is? There's a pivot
Yes, I am.
field,
Okay.
and there is. Okay, so you just click the pivot field.
All right. Understood.
Have you achieved
Thank
that? Great.
Mwalimu, mine does not have that fields.
Yours is showing like this.
No.
Uh,
Like I've just pasted, and like my Excel sheet it just has the table alone.
if you click that table, click on the table itself.
Even when I click on the table.
What are you seeing on your bar here, on the sidebar?
On the sidebar, there's nothing.
There's nothing, like completely nothing.
Yeah.
I think you can paste the table as special. Paste the table as special.
No, don't paste special. Special, it will eliminate the other one. Special, to remove the field. So what are you doing on this end? Like on your fields, is it blank? We don't have the fields and you don't have the rest?
Yeah, it's like, there's nothing. It's just like a blank Excel book, but it has the table.
The table. So maybe your case, let me see. So once you clicked this table, you're saying like these items are not appearing, like it is like that.
Huh?
Is it like this? Like you are not
like
seeing
that,
anything?
yeah. There's nothing.
So what you need to do, come to our table, then right click.
Okay.
You right click. Then show field list.
Okay, yeah, now it's okay. Thanks.
Okay. So once you've achieved that, we've said like at this point, we uncheck the month and we put our day. So once we have our days, then we can have our chart. So you come to insert, you come to pivot chart. I want us to have the area, or you can just have any of your choice. But if for the class, let us select the area. So once you have the area, you come and click OK. So this is the result that I'll be having. I feel like this color, I don't want this color. I need to input another color. So you come in, you click where the area is, you right click. We want to fill you fill it with the color of your choice. It's not supposed to be the exact Mwalimu's color. At this point, probably I feel like yellow, red. So maybe assuming I take yellow. I don't need these grid lines. So I select on the grid lines, then I just delete. I also don't need this x-axis lead. So in this case, these are, of course, our vertical axis. All I need to do is to delete it. Also on this, I won't need, I know these are days. I know these are sum of cells. So maybe I need to get rid of the days and sum of cells. So I come to like my day. I right click. Then let me hide all field buttons on this chart so that I just have this chart like this. So I can rename my chart daily cells. In this case, we've gone deep. Probably in an exam situation, you won't be asked to, maybe for presentation, you can just have it the way it is. That is for exams purpose, but when you're talking about the practical perspective, when you want to present your data, make sure that it is an A class presentation. Yeah. So on this case,
Mwalimu, the renaming, you have right clicked and then renaming to to daily cells. What have you done?
or like you just right click, then you delete, like you kind of edit, right? You delete whatever that was there, the chart title, then you name the way you want it to be, like daily cells. Initially, it was like this, right? Total. Yeah. So I click at that point, then I delete the total. I want to rename it my daily cells. So this is what I rename it, our daily cells. So in this case, probably one will wonder, then what is this representing? I will want to add data labels. So you just right click, you come add data labels. That is one way, representing each and every day. Or you can do right click, add data labels, then you come and do what call outs. For our case, call outs will work, indicating each and every point represents what? Point one represents Sunday. Yes?
Pardon hapo.
Sure, no worries. We say like, these are my data is. You see, it is very plain. Like, I want to know these points represents what. We've said number one, you can add the data labels directly, whereby you just click anywhere within our case, you right click, you come add data labels, you can click data labels. The moment you do data labels, you find that it will show us but not pinpointing on which point. So therefore, we use what? The call outs. So you right click, under data labels, you see we have two choices. You have data labels and you have the call outs. So you click the call outs. So if you click the call outs, each and every point will be represented. Each and every point, you'll find that it is pointing to a specific point that you're looking at. So that if you click here, on all points, you'll see that point 1 is Sunday, this point is Monday, this point is Tuesday, like that, the essence of the call outs. So make sure that you have it. Make sure that you have that. You can always play with this data the way you want. See, there are these options here. Maybe you need different design. This, as I've said, this one will purely depend with your creativity. This one will purely depend with your creativity. You see? So like now you want to make it even more interesting. You want to make it even more interesting because remember you are presenting this, you want to get cash out of these investors. So you must have an A-class presentation. So we've said you can click on your graph and our tab list, come and click design. All these are the options. All these are the options that you can select. You see, all these are literally the options that you can select. Just to make your data somehow more creative, you make your data very neat. You want an A-class presentation. See, you just want an A-class presentation. So assuming that is what I want, you can select any of your choice. You're not limited. Then this sheet, we can rename it daily sales. The same case, have another sheet. I'm trying to be as slow as I can here because I know very well that these concepts of dashboards, you've always been asking in exams. And the focus is not exams. The focus is you getting the knowledge and skills. If you get the knowledge and skills, exams will be automatically be very swift. So again, you open the new sheet. Let us copy paste again this date of ours. You come and paste it there. You come and paste it at that point. What I need to do is to have our quarterly sales and check quarter and check quarter. The same case, you place your cursor anywhere on the, of course, pivot. Come and insert pivot chart. Probably this time I'll want to use, say, like a pie chart. And for pie chart, let me use the donut chart. So this is what I have. But my donut, this seems like a tire, right? This is not a donut. It looks like a tire. So let me make it to be like a donut, right? Because the way it is here, you can think that this is a tire. So what do you need to do? Let us format this. If at all you've used the donut, you can select any of your choice. If at all you've selected the same case as Molimu, the donut, we just click on our chart. You right click. Under format data series, I want to reduce my donut size. I want to reduce my donut size. So let me reduce my, to look like a donut, yeah? Yeah, right now it looks like a donut, right? The other thing it was looking like a tire. So right now you feel like, yeah, it seems like a donut. You can reduce the whole to how you want it to be. I can rename this as a quarterly cells. Make sure that you're all on the same page, yeah? No one is being left behind. Quarterly cells. So I feel like this is very normal. I wouldn't want it to be like this. Yeah, we add some spice on this chart of ours. So you can come on design. Under design, there are various options which you can select. At this point, personally, I love dark mode. So I can do like, let me have my dark mode. And the dark mode, I love to reduce my donut again. Donut full. And now if a person looks like this, then what will this represent? I don't have values here. Probably because you've used a lot of values, let us make it into percentage. So what I need to do, I'll click on my donut. I right click. Then I'll come and add callouts.
Mwalimu, how did you achieve the donut shape? Because mine is just a circle.
What have you selected? The donut, you see, follow this. You see, like when you select your pivot, you come to insert a pivot chart. Under this area of pie chart, we have these elements. You have the pie, you have this 3D pie, you have the pie of pie, you have bar of pie, the last one is donut. So you select the donut. And in this case, you feel like this donut of mine, it is looking like a tire. I want to feel like I'm looking at a donut. So you just click on the donut, then you right click, you come to format data series, then you reduce your donut fold size. You reduce it to how you want it to be. You just reduce it like that. Are we achieving that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Mwalimu, kindly repeat where we are getting the percentages from.
Okay. So we said on our case, you just right click, like initially I didn't have this, right? Initially it was like this. So you said you just right click, then you come to add data labels, then you click callouts. If you click callouts, you'll be having like that. Are you achieving that, Sam?
Yes.
Great. And now, because this is represented by quarter, I don't need this. Yeah. So you right click, then you hide all field buttons on chart. That case, it will hide the other one. This one probably you can just delete automatically like that. I don't need this one here because this represents quarter. So once you presented this set, we can call these quarterly cells. See, quarterly cells. The most interesting part of all this work is where we are heading. The most interesting part of all this work is where we are heading. And you guys will see how Excel has a lot of magic. Only that majority of us, we normally tend to use like 5% of Excel. So you add another sheet. This sheet of ours, let us call it dashboard. This sheet of ours, let us call it dashboard. The sheet of ours, let us call it what? Dashboard. So my dashboard.
A new sheet.
Yeah, new sheet. Yeah, you're opening new sheet. So at this point, remember, all we want is an A-class presentation. So don't leave your Excel workbook to be like this. I want us to fill the whole of this Excel. So at this intersection between column and row, at our intersection here between column and row, there's that arrow pointing down. There is arrow pointing down. So just click that arrow. Come and fill with the color of your choice. As you say, this one purely depends on your creativity. Come and fill with the color of your choice. See? Come and fill with the color of your choice. Probably I'll need gray, or probably maybe let me get a darker gray. You can, this one purely depends on your creativity. So you can select any color of your choice. I wish this to be your presentation. So on that case, I'll come to my monthly sales, all the data that you have selected. For presentation purpose, I'll get rid of this months in sum of cells. So you just right click, then hide all fields button on chart, so that I have my chart to be clean. You copy either by Control-C or right click, copy, take that graph to our dashboard here. Take the graph to our dashboard here. Take your graph to our dashboard. You come and take your daily sales, copy this to our dashboard. You come and take your quarterly sales, copy this to our dashboard. How you arrange them, it depends on your creativity. It just depends. How you arrange the same depends on your creativity. How you arrange, it depends on your creativity. I can see I have two dark mode, so I wish to have this on a lighter note. So we can have that in that case, because we can't two dark mode all. You just select, of course, how you want it to be. If at all you can leave it on dark mode, no worries. But as I've said here, it purely depends on your creativity. So now I have collected all my graphs in one sheet. But in this case, anyone can do this. Anyone can copy paste the graph in our, collect all our graphical representation in one sheet. Now, what unique element are you bringing on the table? The unique element that you're bringing on the table is to automate all this set. That's the unique element that you're bringing on the table, to automate your set. How will you go about automation? Let us follow these steps very slowly with Mwalimu kindly. If at all you've achieved this, the next step, let us all do together with Mwalimu very slowly. Come to insert. First of all, you select, you click any of our graph. Come to insert. Under insert, there is this slicer. You see the slicer? So you select the slicer. What do you want? We want our daily sales, monthly sales, and quarterly sales. This is what we presented. You do, okay. I repeat, you select anywhere in our graph, any graph, you come to insert, you come to slicer. Under slicer, we have day, month, quarter. Okay. So this is what we have. We have our slicers, which you can carry them where we want. I feel like the quarter, these are only 4. So just to make it neat, why shouldn't we have this one on top here? Then under the columns, let us have, there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let us have 4 columns. We just have 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that I have one element here. We have 4 columns. So we have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. For dailies, we have our daily point here. See? The most
Excuse me,
interesting
Mwalimu.
part. Yes, please.
On the part of quarter, how have you made the the column rows? The Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4.
So on the slicer, if you click the slicer there, are you there? Click that slicer. Like, see, this is what you're having. So click the slicer here. Then you click the slicer. Initially it was one column. Initially it was like this, right? So on this slicer of quarter, once you've clicked that quarter, and our tab list, come and click slicer. In our columns here, we have column. Right now it's showing only one column. I need 4 columns. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4 to have 4 columns. Then this one, I just drag it to this point. Then you place this one like that. See? To make our data more interesting, I want us to connect all these slicers. So how will you connect all these slicers? Come to our first slicer, which is quarter. You right click. Then you have report connections. So under report connections, you check all the boxes. You go to the other slicer, you right click, report connections, you check all. Then lastly, you go to the month, right click, report connections, you check all. So whatever that you've done right now, you've commanded Excel to connect all these reports together. This is the most interesting part. See what will happen. This is not magic, but what you've done. If you click quarter 1, see the results. It is automatically feeding for us this case. If you click quarter 2, you see it is automatically changing our set. If you click quarter 3, the same case is happening. So I want to do my report. Look at this case. First of all, make sure that we're achieving this. Make sure that we're achieving this. I want to present my report for quarter 1. So if at all I'm presenting my report for quarter 1, the moment I do quarter 1, I'll come and tell of course, instead of you using a lot of PowerPoint sheets, right?
Excuse me, Mwalimu.
Yes, please.
Please come up again on the slicers.
Exactly at what point?
How to put them.
Up to?
From the start.
From inputting the slicers.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you now? What have you achieved now? I tried to be very slowly. What have you achieved now?
I have the graphs.
So click anywhere on your graph.
Yes.
Then you come to insert. Then you come to your slicer. Under slicer, you select the day, month, and quarter. Then you do OK. The slicer will appear.
Mine does not show that.
You're showing what?
Connection in this workbook.
Have you obtained the slicers first?
No.
When you click anywhere on, click any graph, then you come insert, then slicer. Are you seeing what is appearing on Mwalimu's sheet? Like insert slicers, this in items indication.
Yeah.
So you check day, month, and quarter. Then you do OK.
Yeah.
You've achieved that?
Yes.
So now put that quarter on top. Put the quarter on top. Then under that quarter, under slicer, you place what? 4 columns. Make them to be 4 columns. But this one depends with your creativity. You can as well leave it the way it is, but as I've said, it purely depends with your creativity now. So you can just put it like 4 columns. Some will put like 2 columns. So this one, it will purely depend with your creativity. Then under each item, all you'll be required to do is to right-click on the slicers, and under report connection, you check all. You check all boxes. You check all boxes. Okay. So this is what Mwalimu was saying. Like now, when you're doing a presentation, you are of course in the board of directors. You don't need a lot of power. You don't need a lot of PowerPoint slides. You come and make your presentation. This is quarter one. Under quarter one, you can see our sales in January. This is what we had for January, Feb, and March. And on this quarter, we can see the highest day that we made the sales was on Monday. Not Monday, but Saturday. Saturday, we made what? 112,800. So what really happened this Saturday that we made these sales, so that we can replicate whatever that happened during this day in all other days for us to get more out, for us to get more sales. See, so maybe you need quarter two. The same case, you come quarter two. You'll be like, again, quarter two, it is on Saturdays that we made a lot of sales. Why is it that our consumption majorly, which industry are we in? Probably we are in, say, like maybe hospitality, where we expect guys to come during weekends. But on this case, again, monthly sales, in May, we made a lot of sales compared to the other months in quarter two. So what really happened in May that you can replicate in all the other periods? You see, so this is how you can go about doing a presentation. Maybe you want specific sales for March. If you click March, it will give us a specific sales for March. If you click April, it will give us specific sales for April. So April is quarter two. April, these were our sales during the period. And I can see in April, we made a lot of sales on Monday. The other ones, we were making a lot of sales on Saturday. So what is happening in April? In April, students, they normally tend to close school. So students are literally at home. That is a period that they normally tend to close school. Probably it could be as a result of that. That's why our sales being in hospitality or whichever industry that you are in, this is why we have these sales to be high in Monday. See, literally, you can analyze your data in a very simple manner. And nowadays, investors basically, they don't want to see a lot of figures there. You just present something so simple that you can literally explain to them in a sense that they won't be having even questions to ask. You want to get to know what are our sales on Saturdays. I click Saturdays. Analyzing Saturdays, in this case, at this point, we have Saturday, yeah? And all our Saturdays, I can see these are our sales. See, these are our sales. Like all Saturdays in the period, we made a sales of 112,800. And in May, that is when we had higher sales compared to the other Saturdays. So all Saturdays in January, these are sales. All Saturdays in April, these are sales. All Saturdays in May, all Saturdays in June. You bring this, you give life. You see, you give life to your data. Yeah, you're bringing that life to your data. It is not just like presentation as normal. It is not like a static presentation. You literally bring life to your data. And this is what, of course, dashboard presentation does. It is not just static, like pictures, you have them somewhere, you screenshot a picture from Excel, you put it. No, you make your data to have life. See, there is a story. There's a story behind your data. There is a story behind your data. And this is what you need to grasp. You see, the human is saying, like, whatever that you're doing in our classes, my good students, is not always about just exam. No, this is more of exams. This is more of what? This is more of exams. This is more of exams. So it is not just about exams. It is more of exams. See? So you can do your presentation in a sense that you leave that room, guys will be like, where was this guy? See, where was this guy all this period? So because of what? The skill that you earned. So many a times, depending with how you want to manipulate your data, then trust me, pivot table is always a powerful tool. Later on, of course, for those who wish to do Power Business Intelligence later on, you'll find that Power Business Intelligence is more of artificial intelligence in our presentation, in a sense that the concept that you're doing here in pivot table, the concept that we'll be doing on aspect of VLOOKUP, similar concept has been embedded in the Power Business Intelligence, making it more interesting to the point that you can literally predict. Say, for example, I'll do, like, say, the sales for Feb. Analyzing the sales for Feb, I'll be able to see this, and what Power BI will be able to do for us, which is different from what you can do here. Power Business Intelligence can literally predict for us and tell us that, you know what, this is the reason why we made our sales this much, and this is what we can do to improve. You see, there's that component of artificial intelligence in Power Business Intelligence. So that's why you're turning it as what? Power BI. So the whole premise of Power Business Intelligence, it has literally been made from the pivot, the lookup functions, and in addition with what? The AI tools, which will help to analyze our data and do the prediction for us. See? And again, it is not always about prediction. You can do so many things with Power Business Intelligence. So even you guys, you can always think about the same. Once you're done, you can always think about doing Power BI, because ideally where we are heading, nowadays, the task of accountants are changing very fast. Previously, we were used to majorly data entries, you see, but nowadays you'll find that tasks are literally changing from data entries to more of analytics, from what you used to do previously to more of analytics. So even as you're doing all this, let us also try to focus on what is to come in the future, so that you can also prepare prepare ourselves. So these are our dashboard presentation, what you're supposed to do in that case. So once we have this, then I think we are now, I can confidently say that looking at all these basic parts that will be required to have in our, in all throughout our course. So I gave you some that probably will never see in exams, but it will help us outside here. So you'll find that once we have this, we've been looking at step by step. You see, this Excel, I think it has everything that we had since we started. See, we started from introduction to Excel. We talked about the mathematical functions. We went to logical functions. We talked about the sum if. We talked about the count if. We looked at the lookup functions. You see, we went ahead and talked about, of course, the pivot table. And now we've gone ahead and talk about what? The aspect of the dashboard presentation. We did a question in August 2024, which required us to apply all the functions that we've studied. So I believe with this set, I feel comfortable now. If at all we move our gear, let us move to the next stage. And the next stage now will be application. I'll try as much as possible to always maintain this Excel that you're using so that you have everything from start. So at this point, I'll want us to then consider the concept of application of BDA in the units that you're having. So you can start with application of BDA in financial management. Application of BDA in financial management. Given the fact that we have looked, so there are some other tools like a data table. I'm avoiding doing data table separately because it is a concept that you can get it, of course, in FM. The same concept you can also get it, of course, in our, we can get it, of course, in our financial management, in our MA as we continue. Or maybe because it will affect us all through, let us do this. Let us do data table separately. Let us do data table separately. So instead of application first, let me introduce you to this powerful tool that we normally refer to as a data table. These are simply, of course, the concept of what if analysis. It will affect us in FM, it will affect us in FR, it will affect us in MA, it will affect us in auditing. So data table is what? The concept of what if analysis. Let's just do it separately because it affects us all through instead of confining it to FM only. So we have our data table. The concept of what if analysis is something that you can do a summary very fast, which again, I'll show you how powerful, of course, whatever that you guys normally tend to take them lightly, how powerful Excel is. How powerful, of course, Excel is. How powerful Excel is.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, please.
I don't know, my my Excel has just, my computer has just hung, and
Okay.
And it seems like it is telling me the Excel recovery document. It's showing me a recovery document of like some 30 minutes ago. So is there a way I can recover the latest one that I was working on?
Have you put your Excel on auto save or auto save is off?
It is there. It is on auto save, but the one on auto save is showing me some 30 minutes ago. That's what it is telling me.
That one meaning that you just captured it. Because like always make sure that the auto save here, you see on top here, make sure that
Auto recovery.
on. They are. Do you have this option in your Excel?
Auto saved, it is there, but I don't know. It is showing me some work that.
Is it on or is it off?
No, it doesn't show there.
Oh, it doesn't show this. The autosave bit, like you can put it on or off.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
So in that case, maybe what you can do.
Yes.
You close the Excel. the whole of it is as if it has shut down abnormally.
Yes.
Then you try to open, then on the side, it will
Yes.
show you, default, it is always like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, able to try, just close Excel completely, then you open it again. Then on the side, if at all it was on the autosave mode, it will show you the 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Great. So, Mwalimu is talking about data table, and we are saying that these are usually a very powerful tool, which you'll find that most of the time, whenever we are talking about data table, these are tools that, of course, majority, they normally tend to use it in terms of doing various analysis. So, what about data table? What about data table? So when you're looking at a data table, my good students, what I want us to basically understand is that these are tools that is used for what if analysis. See, this is a tool, data table. We're saying data table. Yeah, this is a tool that is used for TIF analysis. It's a tool used for what if analysis. Remember, like what if analysis is always a situation whereby you are not sure of what is going to happen, right? So it will simply allow us to see how changing these, it will allow us to see, it will allow us to see how changing one variable, it will allow us, of course, to see not only one variable, but many variables, of course, how changing, we can have one, how changing one or two variables, because many times, of course, there are situations, yes, where you can go about dealing with two variables data table. So how changing one or two variables will affect the output, will affect the output or the results of our data set. You see? So these are tools that it is always the what if concept, right? What if this change? What will be the results? What if this change? What am I going to expect? What if this applies? What am I going to expect? So it is literally a very interesting tool which will always help us to do what? Which will always help us, of course, to get to understand how changing variables will affect our final output. And looking at it in this context, you'll find that we normally tend to talk about two forms of a data table. And this data table, number one, we normally refer to one variable or one way data table. And number two, we normally tend to cover two variable data table, two variable data table, or maybe talk about two-way data table. So you'll find that, as Mwalimu is saying, that is a tool that majorly will help us to do the aspect of the what if analysis, right? This has changed, yes, I need to maybe make sure that we look at a situation probably when assuming our sales change, what will be the impact, or maybe we assume that this is an inflation that we are expecting. If at all you incorporate this inflation to a data, what will be the end results? So it's a wide range of elements that we are looking at. So consider the first case. What about one-way data table? Just as the word suggests, one way, in this case, we're looking at where only one variable is changing. The effect of changing one variable. What effect will it have in our end results? This is a one variable data table. See? And very briefly, you can just consider this case. For example, let us take this simple scenario. Let us take this to be our case. Yeah, let us take this to be our case. Our case, we have these are our assumptions, data that we can consider. We have we want to determine the profit. We want to determine, of course, the profit at different levels. Yeah, determine say like determine the profit. Determine the profit of Rasa Limited at different level of maybe students enrollment of students say enrollment of students enrollment. So maybe as shown below, So we'll want to determine the Rasa profit at different students enrollment. The first case we consider what if these are the number of students that we're looking at. Students, say for example, the first variable consider say like if at all we have say like 1,000 students, consider 1,500 students, consider maybe 2,000 students, say to 5. I can go ahead up to say like 5,000. So this is plus 500. Then we drag all these to 5,000. So these are the different levels of students, yeah? And assumption, the first case given here, the matrix, use the following matrix to do this. Our original matrix indicates that we have, these are, of course, students. We take our metric to be an average of, say, like 2,000. Then in this case, come on. Hope my Excel is responding. I don't know why it is taking this time. Just a moment. Abdi, mine has behaved like yours.
It's interesting, yeah.
Very interesting. But is that I think it was just a moment here. So I'll just close this, of course, completely. Then I'll try open it. Update immediately update ita ninyorosha. So we have ita ninyorosha kabisa. So a moment here. That updating issue in Russia. My Excel has to update, and this one will run. I need us to complete that data table. This one, it can't open Excel till it clear to update. But basically what I wanted us to consider is that once you have as it is updating, let me see, showing 6 minutes, hopefully it will be 6 minutes. Let me see an alternative here. Control Shift Delete. I wish to open another Excel, but I can't open because it is running an update of the same. So I think this will have to run till it clear. But basically, using these different situations, you'll find that it will always be very easy, of course, for us to come up with an estimate, in a sense that just a moment here, we must finish this. Yeah. Let us give it like some trying this option. Let me try to pick it from command. From command. Do you guys know how to fetch files using a tree tool in command? Have you ever used a tree tool in command?
Using the CMD.
Yeah. CMD, you go to the root item, then you pick a specific file that you want. Maybe you can literally control the time that you want to pick it from. Come on. A moment, give me like 2 minutes. Let me try, see if at all I can fetch this, yeah. Okay. Should be, let me try to pick I picked 5 minutes ago. File that then what was the name of the file that we're using? That was BDA. Let me check on the group.
BDA lesson 1.
PD lesson 1. So I want you to pick PD lesson 1. My download showing it was Excel 1. To pick I think this is not bad. Yeah. So Excel version, I've been able to pick like 7 minutes. That should be 8 minutes ago. I've fetched 8 minutes ago. I think that will help. Yeah. I've been able to pick 8 minutes ago. I think not bad. Not bad. We've not lost so much. So one way, I think one variable or one way data table, I think that one we looked at it. So what Mwalimu was saying, like we're having the situation of Mdarasa, and of course you're looking at to determine, of course, profit at different levels. Yeah, this was just profit at different levels. Profit at different levels of different levels of students at Mdarasa Limited. So in this case, you're looking this or the levels that you're given, regardless of whatever that you're written, similar concept I want to bring in play. We had, we started with 1,000 students. We said we are going up to 5,000 students. So 5,000 students, yeah. So having this case, you'll find that these are one-way data table that we are considering. So our assumptions here, we're seeing that these were our assumptions, and looking at our assumptions, the other mode is running, so I think it will be slow because the other one is still running. We couldn't wait for those so many minutes to update. So we have our assumptions, and looking at our assumptions, then we say that these are the number of students. Talk about number of students. Number of students. We have we take like 1,000 students. Talk about fee per unit. Fee per unit. Say we give an average of 5,000. Variable cost. Variable cost, we give it say like 3,000. Then our fees costs, we give it say like fees costs, you can give it a rough average of say like 500,000. So having this case, we want to determine the profit at these different levels of students at Mdarasa Limit. Yeah. So the assumptions given that whatever data that we had, we have at this point, for example, maybe we talk about say like these were the data that you're having. So always, whenever you're using our one variable data table, always consider, and any form of data table, our main data will always be very important. Our main data will always be very important. So at this point, the first thing that I need us to do is to determine our profit. We're using the main data first of all, the assumptions that we're given here. And profit, we all know that for us to determine our profit, we'll always be required to consider our total revenue minus our total cost. Or simply, you take your contribution, you less your fixed costs. You less your fixed costs here. Okay? So this is also another way of determining your profit. And contribution, this one will always give us our total sales minus total variable cost. I hope it will, I'm operating on a safe mode, so hopefully it will still operate well. Total variable cost. Yeah. So on this case, talking of this, our task here would be using this data. Let us determine this set. Let us determine our profit. So we have our total sales. My total sales from the original data would be, I take my number of students times fee per unit. Our variable cost would be, we take the number of students times the variable cost per unit. So that my contribution would be our total sales minus variable costs. Then our fixed costs here would be we take the value that you're given, which is 500,000. So my fixed cost to be 500, therefore we agree that eventually we'll have our profit of how much? We take our contribution minus fixed costs to be our profit here. See? To be our profit at that point. So my question is, imagine you have all this data and you want to do your profit all at once. You can't be doing them one by one. And this is where, of course, the most beautiful part where the concept of data table will come in. So currently my profit is this much. What if we have this number of students? What will be the profit generated? That is what you want to look at. So here is where we will be required to use or to analyze the concept of data table. And to do this, one way, data table, I want us to fetch this data of ours. You can just copy paste it here. Then from our set, we identify that I need all these elements. I need all these elements. So you can just put these values here. You transpose, you copy and paste as transpose. You have this set here, right? Remember I showed you how to transpose, yeah? Remember I showed you this when you're doing our first classes. Like you copy paste all this data. Then I want us to put it here. So you right click. Then on the paste options, you come and select the transpose paste option so that it will paste our data in that manner.
Mwalimu, you're a bit too fast.
Exactly where? Remember, transposing is something that we did. That's why Mwalimu is doing that first. It's not something that we're doing for the first time.
No, that one, that's from the data table.
Yeah,
I mean, from the data table, you can just repeat.
exactly, yeah. Because these are just the figures that we've copy pasted here.
Yeah, that's that's where I want us to proceed from.
Yeah, this is just the data. So Mwalimu is saying, like, our case, we just copy paste this data here and you transpose. You see, you copy paste our data and you paste them here on transposing. Transposing is something that we did, but for the sake of the rest, probably or not in, we said after you copy and you want to paste, you just right click on the paste options with this transpose. So you transpose your data there. See? Now, using the original values that you have determined with, come and pick them directly. How do you pick them? Under total cells, we do equal sign. We take the total cells. Under the variable cost here, you do equal sign. You take the variable cost. Contribution, you can do it manually. Total cells minus variable cost. Fixed cost, you can pick it the way we had. Profit, we have contribution minus fixed cost here. You see? So this is the data that we have. I want us all to achieve that first of all. So imagining if I told you to repeat this procedure all through. So currently, if Mdarasa is a profit that is making, what if we have this number of students? This is the number of students given 2,000 number of students. What if we have this number of students? What will we generate as a profit? So the variable that is changing here is the number of students. That is a variable that is changing. This is only one variable. Assuming that this one variable is changing, what will be the profit that you are going to earn? So how do you determine the profit that you're going to earn? This, of course, will be easy. What will be required to do is this. Let us follow this procedure together kindly. Let us follow this procedure together, all of us, just to be on the same page, all of us. Let us do this. You realize that this intersection, Mwalimu has left it blank. We don't have anything here. So from this point, I want us to select our data. We select this area here, the whole area that Mwalimu has selected. Don't consider the wordings, consider the values. From the point that we've marked with red, the first cell in our data, which is blank, you pick all of this all the way to that point. We go to data. Under tab list, go to data. Come to OTIF analysis. Come to OTIF analysis. Then you click data table. From our dialog box appearing here, you can see we have row input cells and we have column input cells. What are we changing? What do we want to run our test on? We are running our test on the number of students. From our highlight, the number of students is arranged in columnar format. 1,000, 1,500, these are the number of students arranged in columnar format. So my column input cell, in this case, this is a column input because the number of students are arranged in a columnar format. Being the number of students, you go to the original data that we used. We go to the original. Remember, all these data are linked. Look at this case so that you can all get it clearly. For us to get this 5,000, you see, it is linked from the original data. For us to get this variable cost, it is linked from the original assumption. The contribution now, as a result of getting total sales in the other one, you also find that in a way it is also linked from what? It is also linked from the original set. So that's why after we have highlighted this set under our what if analysis, we want to vary, or we want to see what if the column input, which is our number of students, change, what will be the resultant figures that we'll be having. So under this point here, come and select the number of students. This data is the one that is changing, the number of students. The number of students is the one that is changing. Then you do okay. And you get to see the magic. Automatically, it will, regardless of how many number you have, automatically it will give us what? The profits at different levels. So I've been able to determine within few clicks, we've been able to determine the profit at all these different levels.
Mwalimu,
Yes, please.
my profits are all in, they are all 1.5 million. For
Then
1,000, 1,500, 2,000. All of them, like for the various number of students.
check the value. What have you copy pasted here in terms of the 1,500? Are you written manually, or are you written contribution minus fees cost?
Okay, I had copied the values and pasted.
No, just do it like a contribution minus fees cost here, so that it will pick the formula.
Okay.
Do contribution minus fees cost so that it will pick the formula.
It has picked the formula.
You have picked the formula and it's the same.
Yeah.
I check on your, or maybe what you might have done, because like in this case, assuming we don't have this, probably what you might have done. What about have you picked your column or row? Because high chance if you do this, maybe I come and pick, maybe come on my data table, I pick say like row input, which is won't be me. You find that it will give us this error, meaning that the number of students is the one that it will pick. So what I need you to do is to come and erase all. Make sure that you erase all. Let us do this together. You must all achieve. Erase all. Number one, confirm that this is picked from the original data. The equal sign, don't copy paste. Pick it directly. The total sales. You see the way Mwalimu is doing? You pick it, don't copy paste. Pick. By picking, you do equal sign, then you select the total sales. For variable cost, don't copy paste, you pick it. Equal sign, the variable cost. And a contribution, now you work it out manually, that minus that, so that it will pick the formula. For profit, you take your contribution minus fees cost. Make sure, don't copy paste, make sure you pick from the original value. Picking equal sign, you select that value. Don't copy paste. If you copy, then you will not get the correct values. So make sure that these are picked, not copy pasted. These are picked from original data. So once you make sure they are picked, then we highlight all these sets. Don't highlight the letters, just highlight the values. Then you repeat the same procedure. The table, then in this case, this data table.
Mwalimu, I'm unable to delete. Okay, it has accepted. Sorry.
You delete. See on bio for the folio too. Yeah, we must learn. We must get it right. Then in that case, you just have to have all these results confirm. The rest, are we okay? The rest, are we achieving the same output as Mwalimu? Make sure that we achieve the same output. Great. Make sure that we achieve the same output.
How did you manage to highlight the entire table?
The entire table in this case, the entire table we just do you like the normal case. You can either do with your mouse like long press on hold left click, then you highlight like that, or simply assuming you don't have this, you can do shift. First of all, place your cursor at that point, then you do shift direction down, then you can do shift direction sideways where you want to select. That is one option. The other option, you just highlight directly like this. You hold your mouse, that is left, you hold it while you highlight so that it will pick everything. Then you have a data table there. We pick the original value, giving us the output.
Mwalimu, I'm still having the same problem.
You still having
Like
the same?
for the same issue, like for total sales, like for each and every row, I'm getting 5 million. For variable cost, for each and every row, I'm getting 3 million.
And these data are copy pasted directly.
No, okay. Like there you say, like I've written
it,
an
right?
Now
Now
I've just said, sorry.
Let us trace the problem. Click on your total sales.
Okay.
What is the formula showing on your total sales? Has it picked from the original data?
No.
That is where the issue is. What about total variable cost? Has it picked from the original data?
Okay, it is speaking from.
It should pick from this original data. Remember the assumptions?
Yeah.
Because one mistake that I can do, assuming I do here 5 million without picking from the original data, you'll see the effect. See the effect? Okay. It might affect us in a way like it won't, the Excel won't sense that this is a correct value. See?
Okay.
This is what you are getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Because if you click here, they are not linked to the original set. They are not linked to the original set. So if at all they are not linked to the original set, this is what you get. So what you need to do on the total sales, just do equal sign, right? The number of units that you're having, the original set, times the fee per unit. Then the same case you do with the variable cost, the number of units and the variable cost per unit. You'll find that automatically it will change your data. So all our data must always be linked to the original set. Achieving now?
Variable cost is sorted, contribution. Yeah, much better. Yeah, now it's okay. Thanks.
Right. So always make sure that they are linked to what? They are linked to the original data, okay?
Yes.
Always make sure they are linked to the original data. Always make sure they are linked to the original data, okay? All of us, we are achieving the results. That's how beautiful Excel is. You see, that's how beautiful Excel is. That's how beautiful Excel is. So let us do two-way data table tomorrow. Then tomorrow, I think there's a question. Then we can, there's a question. The table are used in financial management as well. So as we introduce the second, the two-way data table, you can as well do the questions from our past papers in financial management so that you can understand it well. And once you're done with the basics, the rest will be very easy. Financial management, you give it a maximum of 3 sessions, you're through. FR, you give it a maximum of like 2 sessions, max 3 sessions, you're through. The main is quite easy, more easy to take as much time. So the only thing that I want us to make sure of is that let us make sure that we've gone through the basic bits that we started with, because those are some of the elements that we'll be using mostly as we proceed. Those are the main elements that we'll be using mostly as we proceed. So make sure that at least we've gone through all these cases. So I'll share this file. Remember, this file has everything from, if at all it doesn't have what we did bid, maybe it's like 5%, but most of the things that we've been doing, I've tried to record them on the same Excel. So like from lesson, since we started, like introduction, all the way to where we are, they're recorded on the same Excel sheet. So you guys have a very beautiful night. So very sorry for keeping you this late. We were supposed to clear like 1 hour ago, but we had to extend because we started late as well. So you have a very good night. Of course, see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye.